What are you driving these days?
A Lamborghini, yeah.
You're making good money from this business.
I want to change the entire industry. For me, this has got political. It started off as I wanted to build a big business. Then you realise the hatred and the pushback you get from these estate agents. And you realise the reason there's so much hatred and pushback is because you're exposing them.
Tyron, thanks for coming down to my house, brother. Killing it in property. You've built a massive name for yourself over the last year or so. Channel 4 show, real estate agent, conquering the real estate market. I'm a big fan. I love what you guys are about. I love what you do. Why don't you just give an introduction as to what it is exactly that your business does, because it's unique.
Thank you for the kind intro. To be honest, it was something that I kind of, stumbled into because of lack of options. So I've been an estate agent since I was probably about 18 years old. And I worked in kind of corporate high street agencies. I worked pretty much right the way through until I got to working at a luxury property firm. Was doing really well as a luxury agent, and I managed to negotiate like a self-employed term with them. That was all going very, very well until I wanted to expand. So I was very social media driven. The UK has only just started cottoning onto social media and marketing yourself through social media for property and property sales. I was probably the first, well, I know I was the first person ever to do a property video tour in the UK by probably about a year and a half. And the reality was that as I started kind of pioneering that, my social media was growing. People wanted to use me as a luxury agent to sell all over the UK and all over different parts of London. The company that I worked for at the time, they were a franchise brand where you had to operate within a certain postcode, a bit like most estate agencies. Yeah. That didn't work for me. So then I started going around to different real estate companies to try and accommodate that. No one could accommodate it. So I thought, well, the only way I'm going to get this done is if I do it myself. So that's where the idea spawned for Tyron Ash Real Estate.
Yeah.
We launched at the end of, very, very end of 2019. So really going into 2020. So we're a pretty new business, just over 2 years, 2.5 years old. And here I am.
One of the things you've got going for you, I think, though, is your marketing. You guys are aggressive marketers. Mm-hmm. Also, it's interesting that you put your face on it, like the name of the company, Tyron Ash. Yeah. You're the face, you're the brand, and you're selling multi-million-pound houses. Last year, I know not only did you sell millions of pounds worth of houses, you made millions of pounds in profit doing it, which is crazy. I mean, what's your business model then? So you're charging the like a traditional estate agent, you're charging the seller a fee.
Yes.
And what do you typically charge?
2.5%.
2.5%, is that like fixed?
Yes.
And how do you get people? What do people think? Do people think, I don't want you to sell my house because you're going to put it all over social media, and or do people like that, or what's?
Yeah, I think there's been a bit of a preconceived misconception that the higher value properties need to be these kind of under the table, off market, privacy.
That's how it is though.
And the reality is that in order to get your house sold, especially your luxury property, you're not marketing. So maybe your buyer is localized, maybe. But the reality is that, you know, if you are a luxury buyer, you could be anywhere. Yeah. So, you know, we've had people from London who've bought a property in Alderley Edge. We've had people from Canada buy a property in London Bridge. Yeah. We don't know where that luxury buyer is coming from. So the way that we attack that, because we've got the biggest following on social media, we're getting the most engagement from an estate agency or real estate perspective. So when we're marketing stuff, the engagement levels, it's all right an estate agent doing a video. If he's getting 50 views on the video, then what the fuck's the point?
And they do mostly.
Yeah, they do. I mean, you know, they think, oh, you know, it's a waste of time. My concept isn't the video itself, it's about what we do with that video. Yeah. So we have probably around 10 pieces of content per listing. That's why I know we're so far ahead of the game, because they think, oh, we're doing property videos. We're stratospheres ahead of that already. Yeah. So we need to make sure that we've got trailers, coming soon videos, walkthrough tours on TikTok, detailed video tours, and we're growing these marketing campaigns for each property. That's growing an audience of tens of thousands of views per video, driving and funneling.
Is that where your buyers are coming from then? Are your buyers coming from Instagram, TikTok, social media?
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is, like, we've done the largest marketing campaigns on every single property portal, right through the website, a door knocking campaign, letter campaign, database, I could talk to you an hour on that subject alone. And then what could happen is we might knock on the neighbour's door and just let them know there's a property for sale on this street, introduce us as agents, and they'll go, oh, by the way, my son might be interested in that. And then the son comes along and buys it. But then on the other hand, we could do a TikTok walkthrough tour. Like we sold a £7 million luxury apartment that was on for 3 years with very well-known corporate luxury estate agents. We sold it in 3 weeks, and the top buyer of the 32 that come through the door, the daughter saw it through TikTok, and the dad, who's Canadian, bought the property, authorising it effectively through a TikTok lead. So what I'm saying is that, yeah, it's crazy. Now that was a £100,000 fee off of
so you made 100 grand from a TikTok video.
Effectively, you could say, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
why do your videos get so many more views though? You mentioned about other estate agents, and I've seen them do little videos. Do you know, like the traditional type stuff, and they often tank.
Yeah.
But yours seem to go viral.
Yeah.
What is it? How does that happen?
The thing for me is I have a bit like yourself. You know, I can see with everything you do in your business, you have extremely high standards. You know, and for me, my standards with everything in business and the way we market properties is extremely high. If our estate agents, or I don't even like calling them estate agents, if our real estate agents do a property video tour and it's dull, it's lackluster, it's uninspiring, then I'll pull them up on it. We give them guides on how, we have specific videographers we work with who have editing rights to make it engaging, to make it effectively explode onto people's social media platforms. So that way, because what I explain to owners is when you launch a property, people think you're marketing to a buyer. You're not at that point because you don't know who's buying the property. What you're competing for and the currency at that time is attention. That's all it is, it's attention. So you've got the difference between someone seeing your property, scrolling past it, or bang, it explodes on there and they go, I might just watch this for a little bit longer. Oh my God, this looks really good. Oh, let me speak to my dad about buying it, or let me come and view it myself, or whatever it might be. And then suddenly the engagement's there, and then it converts to a viewing and then a potential offer. Now that happens on Rightmove, that happens on Instagram, that happens on LinkedIn. The same principles occur. If there's shit photos or no video tour, or it's not engaging, or it hasn't been marketed properly, then people are just going to scroll past it. So we need that engagement there in the first 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and then we get them. So
do you think you're dominating in the real estate market because you understand marketing? Do you think that's the main thing?
I think the funny thing is that marketing's one thing. If you've got 30 brilliant buyers through the door of a property, but the agent who's receiving those leads is absolutely rubbish, then, and he's not trained to the highest level, then that becomes a redundant process in itself, because suddenly you're effectively letting someone let all this money slip through their fingertips, offers slip through their fingertips, because they don't know how to handle them. They don't know how to negotiate. They don't know how to get the price up to what the owner wants. Or the alternative is they haven't done their job properly at the market appraisal stage. So we spend a lot of time training our agents, not only to just tell an owner what they want to hear. If the property's worth 3 million and the owner wants 4, then there's a problem. So, you know, our agent doesn't go there and say, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir. We show pound per square foot evidence, market data, sold property, similar properties of square foot, all that sort of stuff. Probably the research you have to do when you research.
Exactly.
It's the same process. Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. It's the same with any business. If you don't prepare for that meeting and get everything ironed out, so the owner not just says, I think it's worth, the other estate agent said it's worth, all of that rubbish.
They talk nonsense.
Absolute rubbish.
They just say whatever you want to hear.
Yes, they do.
And then they get the listing, and then they slowly over weeks and months bring it down and down.
Yeah, chip away at it.
And you're in contract with them.
Yeah. And it's
unethical.
It is unethical. And actually what they end up doing is underselling people's homes. And what happens is, if you don't have that correct conversation with an owner, firstly, that owner is being misled because they're being misled by an agent who's told them their house is worth too much money. Secondly, you might actually deliver the perfect offer for their home, but if they're deluded into thinking that it's worth 20% more than it actually is, they think you failed. When the reality is you haven't. You've delivered correctly, but they haven't been educated enough or shown by an expert what their property's worth.
I think the thing I like about you guys is the fact that you are unique. You You don't go with the grain, and you go against the grain, against the status quo, and you do what you think is right. And I think that's why you're winning. Your marketing is aggressive but different. The whole way you structure it, it's just completely different. How have you been received by other agents?
I think we're not going to be getting any Christmas cards from any estate agents, but I kind of prefer it that way. The reality is that my views on estate agency are very clear for all to see. I believe that the industry is absolutely in the stone ages, and when you go to countries like America, to Australia, these are marketing wizards. These are people who are marketing these luxury properties on every single social media platform. They're engaging their audiences. They're on television shows. They're driving supercars. They've got faces on billboards. What are our estate agents doing? Having a fag outside the office before they get let home to go at 6 o'clock because they haven't made 150 phone calls before lunch. Come on, it's apples and oranges, isn't it?
I used to be an estate agent.
Same.
I used to be an estate agent, and I kind of went my way.
Brilliant.
And you're
I can't imagine you like conforming to that in a very long.
Dude, I lasted 3 months, bro.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I lasted 3 months.
I bet they had a shock when you turned up.
How did you get your TV show with Channel 4?
I knew that was coming, and I knew it was coming before it ever happened. And the reason being was when I watched shows like $1 Million Listings, Selling Sunset, and how inspiring and how kind of innovative these shows and these individuals were. All I did was I thought, right, I'm going to make us more innovative and more marketable than even them, which I still actually believe we are. I don't have any problem in saying that. And that meant that when it come calling, that television channels were looking for the British version, and they've tried it a couple of times, but let's have it right. I mean, you watch some of these shows, I'm not going to name names, but where they've got estate agents showing £20 million houses, and you fall asleep in the first 5 minutes. It's not inspiring. With us, we had nearly 30 different production companies call me, basically saying there's been a release. They want the British kind of Selling Sunset $1 Million Listing. We had a few production companies battling it out for us, and then we finally agreed on one, got the show to pilot, got it through to them, and then they. And it aired on Channel 4, Mega Mansion Hunters. It was a good show. I think it was filmed like 9-10 months ago, 9-10 months before it went out, yeah. So it was a little bit like watching a bloody, it was a bit old. We've evolved a lot since then.
From your perspective, it was old, but from the viewer's perspective, it's innovative, it's new, it's fresh.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But it was great because my biggest goal with the business was to make us a household name. Now we are. So,
are you hoping for a season 2? Do you think there'll be one?
I think one way or another there will be. I believe it needs it. As I said, there's been a large evolution across the business with regards to the agents, the properties we're selling, the levels of property, the way we market ourselves, the reach, the money, everything. We've got agents in our business picking up supercars. We're setting the trend for where estate agency and real estate is going in the UK, and that for me should be aired and it should be shown on television.
What are you driving these days?
A Lamborghini, yeah. Nice.
So you're making good money from this business?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What do you think people watching this, if they wanted to get involved? I know I personally know people that have become agents within Tyron Ash. What's the process like, and how many agents do you have working for you?
Yeah, so I think the agents across the business is just shy of 100. Obviously, some are in kind of early training stages. Others are more experienced.
Are they full-time or?
So it does work around schedules for people. So when you think about kind of, we need people to be treating it like their first vocation, their first full-time responsibility.
Yeah.
But, with any kind of thing, when it comes to kind of running your own business, these are self-employed agents. So they're on the same setup like the American and Australian real estate brokerages. So it's a 50% commission split. So there's no basic salary, so there's no prizes for taking part. But there's a lot of commission at stake. Average sale, we're talking 1.5 million. Average fees probably 30 grand, 25k. So they're earning 12 to 15 grand per sale. And there's many agents earning 20, 30, 40 grand a month. It's a good income.
So not only are you making good money, but you've been able to help your agents.
That's the driver.
Why is that the driver?
Because I'm an agent. I mean, I could go and make 200 grand a year, 300 grand a year plus, just selling houses myself. What I love is teaching it. I love showing people how they can do it, and that's what my main role has become. Yeah. You know, I'm not a manager. I'm not I'm not somebody who people report to. What I am is I'm showing people the methods of how to list successfully, how to get properties sold, how to market them to the widest possible audience, how to get multiple buyers through the door and drive the price up to the best possible price for the owners, and how to get the thing over the line to exchange of contracts. And
do you invest in property yourself?
I've bought a few buy-to-lets years ago. It is something that it's on my to-do list this year.
Yeah, that's good.
It's on my to-do list this year.
What's the plan with Tyron Ash? Where do you see it going in the next 5 years?
It's a great question. I think the next one is Dubai. I'm going to be launching Dubai, probably going to be the start of next year. And I think realistically, I want this business to saturate the UK. I think that the dinosaurs that have been around for a long time in the luxury end of the market are vulnerable, and no one really has the balls to go and take them on. The bottom line for me is every real estate brokerage, every self-employed agency that's set up, they naturally, like with any business, they float to the bottom because it's safer. It's a lot safer for them. We're not interested in that. We want the top end of the market, and we are going to stop at nothing until we've taken it.
Because I imagine it's not much, it's the same as a property investor or as a property developer. A big deal and a small deal take very similar effort, but one will you'll get 10 times more the money. And I imagine it's very similar for a estate agency. Yeah. No, but if you're selling a house that's a 100 grand house, it's probably going to take just as much effort to sell £1 million house.
It actually takes more effort, and I'll tell you why. Because what we find in the sales process is that, unfortunately, the solicitors that they use on a 200-300 grand sale are always cheap bargain solicitors.
Yeah,
that,
right.
You know, you've got a central email and a central switchboard phone number, can't get hold of anyone. Someone who's not qualified is checking down a list to say whether they've checked it off before it's ready for exchange.
Yeah.
No common knowledge, no nothing, no initiative. You know, with someone who's paying £5,000 or £10,000 for solicitors' fees, they've got an expert on it. That expert messages us on WhatsApp and tells us what's going on, and uses their knowledge to get the property through in the quickest time possible for their client.
Yeah.
So it doesn't sit there for 6 months; it sits there for 6 weeks.
Same when you're doing development, because there's more money, there's more profit in the deal. You can pay better qualified people to help you with it. Yeah. What's I know you've had a little bit of criticism over the last sort of few months, not even a few months, but and for me, I said to you this privately, it's like it's normal when you blow up and when you're conquering, you can't have people not coming for you. You're gonna have the media, and that's the thing. When you first start out, people will say, "Oh, it's a silly idea," whatever. They'll laugh at you. Then you get a bit of success, then they'll start hating you, and then when you become a household name, which is what you're becoming now, and you prove yourself and you've got credibility, then people just go, "Okay, fair enough," and respect you. So you've obviously had some criticism. How do you, especially when you're like me, see? My company's called Samuel Leeds Limited, and the reason I do that is because I'm putting my name on it. Yeah, if I can't put my name on it, if I'm having it as some faceless company, then really I shouldn't be running that company. I need to be prepared to put my name on it. Yeah. But when you've got a company that you've put your name on it, and it's your heart and your soul, your customers, and you've got people, the media, writing stories and coming after you. How do you personally and as a business, how do you deal with that?
It's a brilliant question because weirdly it started was I'm very much somewhere I don't like someone telling me I can't do something. It's not in my DNA. It's not in my vocabulary. So when I was at one of these real estate companies, a self-employed brokerage, an American firm, won't give them the benefit of naming them, but I wanted to basically have my name as the real estate name, but because I've got a bit of a colourful past, as probably you can sort of dig around and find out, they were like, we don't want your name on the boards associated with this real estate brokerage, so can you just call it like, whatever property or whatever? And I was like, no, I'm putting my name on the business. It's my name. If people don't like it, then no problem. So that was really the main driver. So that when we launched this, then my name is going smack bang in the middle of those fucking boards. Like, that's it. And, and because I know what I'm doing. I know I'm not an idiot. I know how to list and sell luxury homes, and I know how to build a brokerage of experts that know how to do exactly the same. And my name will be on that board. And that's how we did it. So like, that was always a thing that I thought I would never be told I can't do something. But then what's happened is as the TV shows come out, the exposure's been brilliant. which was what we wanted. But then I've had, the Daily Mail, I've got a personal vendetta against me. I mean, I've been called a narcissist, I've been called, everything under the sun.
Who cares, man? If you're good at your business.
No, well, that's it. And I think
if you're delivering and you're good at your business.
No, I mean, it doesn't. The thing for me is these things don't affect me. Words don't hurt me. Then give me something serious to worry about, and I'll deal with it. And someone write a newspaper article because they don't like me. Unfortunately, I don't lose any sleep.
And they don't know you.
No, they don't. Exactly.
The thing is, people just see your marketing front, your persona. Same with me, and then they just come to conclusions. They haven't sat down and had dinner with you. They haven't.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did it hurt business? Did it help business?
No, it helped massively.
But all controversy is good, right?
Yeah,
controversy sells.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that the thing for me was that I've never made it a secret that I had a criminal record. I've never made it a secret about my past. I've never made anything a secret. Nothing was a surprise. So when they start putting these things in the newspapers, in headlines and all these things, I just think, well, I have just talked about it on a national television show, so you've not discovered anything. Yeah. I've kind of took the sting out of that a little bit, and it's it's more of a story of someone who's gone from.
They're acting like, aren't they a great journalist? They found this information out that you spoke about on national television.
Yeah, on national television. I was stood outside.
Sloppy.
I was stood out.
I didn't even see. You know what? I didn't even see any of the bad stories about you because I don't even look at it.
Yeah.
I only know about it because you told me.
Yeah.
I don't even read the newspapers. I'm not interested.
No. And funny enough, I don't either because I think that they're never writing about anything good, are they?
The bad news sells more. Headlines, journalists and media have really they're selling out because people are reading it less and less because of social media.
Yes.
So they're trying to be more and more sensationalist.
It's true, actually.
They're trying to be grab people's attention and it's just it's sloppy.
Yeah, because
you have to sue them if it's not true though.
Yeah, I think the thing for me was that it just doesn't affect me the way they want it to affect me. So I don't really care what they write. I don't really care. It doesn't affect me. All I care about is, the business is going where it needs to go. The people in the business have the utmost support from me to be able to do their job to a really high level. And, we have very, very happy clients who refer us and use us. And, that's what it's all about. For me, it's a newspaper article here and there.
What's more important to your business, marketing or sales?
That's a bit of a chicken and the egg question because I feel like if you can't market yourself correctly and attract the business, then you won't get the sales.
Are you good at sales?
I'm exceptional.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Absolutely.
So what is sales? What does it mean?
About taking someone through a journey where they can learn about whatever it is you're trying to sell. So whether it's a product or a service, they're learning about it and you're delivering that in the most beneficial way possible for them. So they can actually see the physical benefit of engaging with that service or product. And then it's taking that from point A to point B and then believing or understanding, not believing because it's not untrue, but actually understanding that by engaging that product level or service that you have delivered, that enriches or makes their life or current circumstance better.
Yeah.
That's what selling is.
Yeah, it's good.
And not everyone can do that.
Do you know what why a lot of salespeople are bad, I think? Because they don't qualify the person they're about to sell to. They don't listen. Yeah. So for me, sales, the first thing about sales is actually understanding what they want. And if your product or service is not right for them, then telling them, this is not right for you.
Absolutely.
If it is right for them, then it's about making it easy for them to make a decision and go ahead. 100%. And a lot of people think they don't like sales. Oh, I hate sales. I'm not a salesman because they've seen someone sell bad and they've been annoying, right? They knock the door and try and sell them double glazing or something. I'm not interested. I've already got double glazing. And the salesperson's being pushy and not. But if you're a good salesperson, you'll ask questions, you'll listen, and if you've got something that they need and they want, then you'll make it easy to bring the two together.
100%. And I think the funny thing is with certainly associating it with real estate, I believe it's definitely not a hit and run sell. So a large portion of that is the rapport building, is
and delivery afterwards.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you can't deliver, then what are you there for?
Yeah.
And I think that over time, the pendulum kind of swings. And at first, it's very outbound, door knocking, lead generation, follow up. But what happens is through this process, you get people who trust you. They use you again. They refer you. They use you. They see your sold boards going up. They see your social media posts. Your credibility goes through the roof. And guess what happens? you become an attraction agent and everyone comes to you. And then it's very easy to sell because you're just picking up the phone and there's money at the end.
What's the most expensive house you sold?
In the business, 9 million.
Cool.
Personally, myself, I did a sale at 22.5 million.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Okay, but that wasn't part of Tyron Ash?
No, that was before, yeah.
Dude, man, we've got to get some. Okay. So an average sale is about what? Average sale price of a house?
Our average sale price this year was just under 2 million.
Brilliant.
That's
so you're going for a lot of high
price.
end.
Yeah, and this time last year was just under 900 grand. Nice. So there's a serious spike. So our sales pipeline is 6 times what it was last year.
Yeah. What's the biggest misconception about real estate agents?
I actually think the misconceptions people have in the UK are not wrong. Estate agents are a joke. And for me, the industry needs shaking up to a different level. Real estate agents, actually, I find if you go to like America, go to Australia, I mentioned earlier, they're viewed like lawyers, doctors, they're professionals,
Yeah.
So
they're not paid 20 grand.
No, they're the richest guy on the street.
Yeah.
Richest person on the street. And the funny thing is that it's because they are experts at marketing your house, they're experts at negotiating your sale. It is a profession, and we just think we've treated them like the second-hand car salesman. Oh yeah, just stick them in the office on the high street, hand out a few leaflets.
Yeah.
Clock in at 9, clock out at 6.
What's the biggest difference between Tyron Ash and most estate agents?
Most estate agents, well, I can tell you that the easy way to describe it is Britain has designed a estate agency in a way where the timeline doesn't change. You list the property, you market it, you take your viewings or an open house, you negotiate the sale, you exchange contracts. That's the timeline. A real estate agent is someone who becomes an expert at every single part of that process. So the minute you meet them at the listing and then they market your property through social media, they negotiate your sale for an impressive open house process, they take the property up to its maximum level to get you the best possible price, they chase your property through to exchange your contracts, handing over the keys to the new buyers. You watch an expert take that whole process through. So your Ryan Serhants, your Josh Altmans, all these amazing real estate agents that we love and admire on television, they're experts at that whole timeline.
Yeah.
With estate agents, what they do is they take that timeline and they divide it up into little jobs. So what they do is they say, right, we're going to instruct a valuer to go out and just value. He or she is going to relationship build at that precise moment. It becomes a hit and run sell. Oh yeah, our company's great, we're going to do this, we're going to market this, sign here, bang, 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 contracts back into the office, onto the next market appraisal. That's how a valuer works. Then that listing goes back to the office, administrator types it up, goes out to these sales negotiators who've probably never seen the house before, on the phone, do you want to view it, do you want to view it, do you want to view it, do you want to view it? That's all they do, they're like battery hens. No offence, but they are. And then what they'll do is they'll get paid a little bit of commission when they sell the property.
25 quid, that's how much I used to get.
Yeah. It's true.
My basic, guess what my basic was?
I don't know if it was as low as the one I had.
Go on, what was yours?
Mine was 8.5 grand.
Oh, mine was 11.
Oh, you money bags over here. And so what they've done is they've kind of divided this whole process into remedial little jobs. And then what that means is they give you a 3% there, 5% commission there, 5% commission there. And the reality is they net 90% of the deal as the corporate brand or the estate agency, and they pay everyone off really low kind of money and really low wages. And that is why there is a fundamental difference. And I don't even like it when people call us estate agents, because we're not. I don't put myself in the same category as them. I don't put our agents in the same category as them. We're real estate experts that know the whole process from start to finish and become that trusted person to handle the process, not a sales negotiator who works on the high street and goes home at 6.
Yeah.
Big difference.
What do you want to be remembered for then?
I would say I want to change the entire industry. Like for me, this has got political. This is something where it started off as I wanted to build a big business. Then you realise the hatred and the pushback you get from these estate agents and other people in kind of these corporate environments. And you realise the reason there's so much hatred and pushback is because you're exposing them. We're delivering on properties that they've had for 2-3 years and we're getting them sold in a process that's far beyond what they do. So for me, that shows me I'm onto something. So for me, it's about being the person that changed UK estate agency into effectively real estate.
It's a good goal, my brother. And I work with a lot of estate agents. So for me, it's good to see. I'm not saying, I don't necessarily agree that they're all useless.
No, I think there's some good ones. There are. I think it's the structure that lets them down. It's not them.
Yeah.
The structure.
I get it. It's great to catch up. What made you agree to come down?
I've always been a massive fan of you, Sam. I think your approach to business and the way you're helping people build businesses and build their careers in property development is inspiring. And I think that for me, and I know it will be something I do, but there'll be one person I'll be coming to on property development, and that'll be you, and I'd recommend anyone else to do the same.
Big up respect, man. Thanks for coming down.
Pleasure.